What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Episode 8 of the walkthrough, picking up here in Weeping Peninsula. So, with everything else done on this half of the Weeping Peninsula, let's go on over to do the other half. So, we're just going to kind of split on this road here. First thing we're after, now we've already gotten, the Sacred Tear, the Incantations, and the Flame Shield from over here, so there's nothing else there. We've also got the little consumables. So, we're going to work down this road, and there's a tower right up here. So, that's going to be our first stop, is hitting the tower. So this is going to get us the hand ballista. So the hand ballista is a really big ranged option for strength builds. It's huge. It's fucking huge. But it's technically a ranged weapon, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a huge ass freaking ballista. It's awesome. You're gonna need quite a bit of strength. I mean, it might be like 30. I don't know. It's huge. It's got to be up there, right? So. There we go. To go on up here, we're looking for the battlements. We're going to go up the side of this wall here. And go on this way. Just kind of, going through, taking out whoever's standing in our way, as usual. As per usual. Alright. I'll leave that up on the screen in a second for you guys to see. So that is the hand ballista. It comes with huge ballista bolts. I think it's like 160 damage, 170 damage is up there. But just to put this on and show you guys. Yeah, 30 strength, 14 dex. Look at this fucking thing. Look at this fucking thing. That is wild shit there, y'all. That is wild. Really cool. Obviously you're going to two-handed. And still the same targeting as, anything else that's ranged. But really neat. So if you're doing a strength build, you do get some pretty cool stuff to play with, let's be honest, But now that we got that, we can go and drop here. Drop here. Let's see, anyone else to worry about? Alright, now we're going to go down this side and kind of wrap back around. Now we're good to move on. There's just like maybe some crafting stuff, a couple guides here. But just so we clear, actually clear our area, we'll go ahead and handle this. And go ahead and get our butterflies. Get your herba. Other than that, I'm pretty sure it's just like poison flowers. Nothing too crazy. Now we're going to go on down. Then right across from here is on our left side coming up. There's a little pond. Dogs around it, but there's nothing besides the dogs, but if you want to, clear it. Ooh. You done, buddy, you done. Alright. Yes, there's nothing really else going on though, so give him a little smack, and we'll be on our way. So what we got next? Should we do the ruins or the cave first? So you're gonna see like little bushes, kind of like how we found Bach, where you smack the bush and he turns into smoke. So you just be kind of riding along and you'll just see smoke out of nowhere, and these guys will pop up. It's because this is a demi-human village, so that's what we'll be dealing with here. So as we go down, we're gonna have the ruin straight ahead. But the cave is right here. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. Why do I keep actually hitting that? We're gonna go drop right down the right side of this. And you're gonna see that little candlestick, big ass candlestick over there. So these are little things you interact with. I don't know what you'd call them. Little sigils, I guess, you interact with around the world. And when you interact with it, a ghost is gonna appear. If you follow that ghost for like 4 or 5 minutes, he's gonna keep appearing, disappearing, leaving a trail behind them, right? And this is just gonna lead just to something. So they put this there because the cave is kind of off the side, kind of hidden. But yeah, you see those around the world and always leads you to something. And that one in particular happens to be leading to the cave. But since I already know where it is, we're just gonna go. But I did think it's worth talking about because you are gonna see those sometimes. That thing's got a decent amount of range. There's Dex builds that decided to put a few points into intelligence for Death's Poker. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I did find it a lot of fun, so I thought some of you guys may as well. Not to mention Frostbite, man. It's just a really, really good stats effect in this game in particular. Let's go on down. So this is going to be Earth 4 Cave. This is a really short one, like they usually are in general. What we want to do here is, if you see the floor's kind of cracked, that's going to break through. So if you just stick to the right, you won't have to make another trip up here. Like, you could easily get back up, but, you know, this doesn't get it all. So you see, I kind of stepped on there to show you. And that's just going to take you down. So all we're going to have to deal with here are some rats. Not a big deal. And we're probably already halfway through the place. That's, you know, in general, that's how caves are. Kick him out. Kick him out. And it's really hard to see even with your lantern, so I would just walk in and lock on. Alright, so we got them cleared out. We should just have a few more, a couple loose loots, and we're to the boss. This boss is going to be a root bear. We've already faced quite a few of these guys. 3 charged heavies, critical, rinse, repeat, dodging his attacks in between. So we are going to, you know, we suggested the Blood Flame build, so we're going to take it to our advantage. Use it to our advantage, right? Get your stuff ready in between, get your buff going, let's get our heal on. And actually that flask, I don't know if it's still active. I accidentally hit it early, but that does give us increased charge attack damage. 2. Like I said, 3 charged heavies, critical. That's probably going to be it for room barrier. Oh, we have a survivor. We'll fix that. Boop. And there he is. So get your spell drink talisman right here. And get your little loose loops, and we are good. So we're going to just jump back to the beginning. That's the easiest place to navigate from. As I mean, just, you know, wrap back up around the hill and hit the ruins. So we're, you know, it's starting to cost quite a bit for levels at this point already. So, you know, even having 3,800, it's not enough to really do anything with. Good thing is, if you picked weapons, like quality builds, if you want to stick with this for a while, you got Death's Poker, you got the giant greatsword, you got some good upgrades in there. We won't have to really spend money on, you know, upgrades or anything like that. We all got good weapons. It's going to last us quite a bit. So we just, you know, stack up our runes or our levels. Now, there is some stuff, like, I mean, we should buy stone sword keys as we run into those. And, you know, whatever items are useful, but these upgrades are really expensive, you know. It's not just about the upgrade materials being so rare, it's also really expensive to do. I think to bring a regular weapon all the way up to plus 25 is about 20,000 runes or more altogether. Depending on if it's a seal or if it's a, you know, a melee weapon. So, going forward, we want to get to the ruins. Now, that's like the big part of the ruins. So, we're going to start in the back. There's some stuff to do here. I guess we should knock out the shield first. So, there's one area here. The only way to get in there is to jump over a wall. And it's right over this one right here. Is that it? No, it's around. So, you can kill that big guy. So, right here, where you see the big demi-human at, you just turn right around. You go over here and go down the stairs. So there are some ruins, just like where we got the twin blade, that the only way to actually access it is to go over a wall. There's no way to like walk through a door or anything like that. You're just not going to get to it. This is a blood loss shield coming with shield bash, which just rams into people. Would go okay with a blood loss build like our own. However, you know, it's going to have that skill on there, so you won't be able to get your Astral Bore unless you go to two-handing. Now, if you get comfortable, it's not bad. Like, you know, I could two-hand as much as I like. But I'm suggesting the no-skill option for newer players until you guys get comfortable. after you get comfortable, you know, use your Ashes of Warrior shield. Some of them are really good. Barricade shield, you know, parry, shield bash, shield crash. All these are things you could use to your advantage, but you're gonna have to get comfortable. And you also have with the Urge Free or Carrying Retaliation, Urge Free Retaliation. These things are really good. Now, a lot of things I mentioned aren't gonna come for a while, but there are some really good shields out there. So at this point, we're kind of just going around the ruins, clearing all the enemies, because we have a really big demi-human, who's actually a really big mage. She has one spell. If you see her doing like a scatter shot spell, that could one-shot you if you don't have as much health as we do. But if you've been following along, you should be alright. I was here with like 25 health and a one-shot. 25 health isn't like a little amount either, you know, not at this point. But besides that, she just like slams her staff down. But we do want to try to take these guys out, and as you see, she'll be helping us with that. Now we'll fight her a few times throughout the game, different boss fights. This one didn't really have much health, and she's more of an elite enemy. She's not even a mini boss. They didn't have a big health bar, you know. So not too bad. They get you the demi-human queen staff, and then her spell, that scatter shot she was doing. Let's go ahead and heal it up. Now from this point, what we're doing is it kind of splits in half here. So eventually we're going to get to the church and do all this other stuff, but there is that tunnel. So to get the tunnel, we just go right. Go straight down the ruins and all the way to the tunnel. So if you used all your ones and you've been wanting to, you know, upgrade something else or start to upgrade something else, or only get up to +3, but we do pick up quite a few smithing ones here. And that's how tunnels work, and we spoke on this earlier. Tunnels are for, you know, your weapon upgrades, to find your stones in tunnels. Catacombs are typically going to be your upgrade materials for your summons, and then caves, usually your talismans, but you find other stuff in them too. Just, I'd say random items, random chance items in caves. Go from here, we're just going straight on back. Now this is where we dropped down after we got lightning strike. You guys might remember we got the scarab, all the bats were up there. And if you ever see this little light by a cave, as soon as you get here, it kind of kicks you off torrent. That's what that is. Alright, more tunnel. Now, this is another one that's got a drop-off point that's worth getting. I'll pretty much call them all out. And I will tell you, until about a third of the way through the game, they are, you know, it's always worth getting drop-offs. But eventually, you're going to stop getting anything. And we'll still make it a habit, because there might be like 1 or 2 spots. But, yeah, eventually there's not going to be anything there anymore. But there will for a long time, you know. The first 20 hours or so. Alright, so we're going to be dealing with the Scaly Misbegottens, the guys we've seen right after we talked to Arena. These guys here, the little tails. This is actually what Hugh is, the blacksmith from Round Table Hold. He's actually one of these guys. He's a good dude, though. Alright, so we're going to run, jump on over here to the right, hit this ladder. Take him out. Remember, our swords should be bouncing off. Heavy attacks and two-handed attacks won't. Blunt weapons with strike damage, they won't. So take him out, immediately turn around. There's a guy. Usually there's a guy coming down this tunnel. I don't know. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, he's like always here. I don't know why he didn't show up. I'll take it, you know. So we'll have Misbegottens, and they're getting to the point where they can like fly around and use a bow and arrow, like little demented angels almost. So we want to try to put them down before they start their flying bullshit. You can't really get to them. And they can even do like critical attacks, where they'll like dive on you with their dagger and get a critical. Even with their shields up, it won't stop it. So from here, I guess we can just two-hand over here. When your attacks are bouncing off, it's actually quite annoying. Take him out, and go up here, get a stone. Or 2. So, as I mentioned, a lot of these earlier game enemies have chances to drop smithing ones. I weren't really worried about it when we were buying up the other ones. I said, don't really buy those. And that's because, look at this, we already have 15. And we've used 18. So we've already gotten 30. That's from drops, it's from finding them. I've not bought a single regular smithing stone. Now, 2s and 3s are more rare to find early game. As you get later and later through the game, enemies will drop bigger and bigger stones. This is how, you know, the progression works. But ones we never have to worry about because, you know, pretty much every enemy has a chance to drop those, you know. So now, as always, we always want to go behind the shacks. Go here, get your somber 1. And even mid-game, like, when we're in Altus Plateau, even there, there's, like, you know, similar tunnels with these little shacks, and they still have stuff, you know, behind them, so. Sometimes it's a whole boss room, you know, so we always want to look there. Alright, so now we're good to progress on. So as far as, like, navigating this place, just remember when we first come in, you go down the stairs, you just go straight forward. That's going to be your, you know, your dead. And then underneath the stairs is how you progress. Alright, so this room is the pain in the ass. This is where we want to try to get all the misbegottens before they start flying and shit. So to do that, if you look over to the right, ignore your miners. They're always just, you know, minding their own business. But just look up to the right. And there'll still be probably one that we missed. There's always one. It might be him. Shit, I didn't see the barrel. I'm going to grab your somber 1. Now we'll start getting the loot. Because like I said, the miners are just doing their own thing. So we're just going to come, you know, beat them down when we get to them. Gives us the opportunity to just go around. That's going to be your boss room over there. So we're going to go this way first. There he is. I told you. There's always one. He was about to get that critical on me I was talking about. Alright, so we're going to go down here and get your soft cotton. So soft cotton's an interesting consumable. If there's a big drop, it can't be fatal. Fatal drops will still kill you. But if there's a drop that you would typically take a lot of damage from, like half your health or more, 60, 70% of your health, that will make it so you don't really take any damage at all. It's pretty cool. You kind of like have this aura around you, and I didn't even use one my first time ever into the DLC. I had to drop off the side of the fort, and it actually does work. It's crazy. It's weird, you wouldn't really think of it, but I swear to God, it really does work. Pretty good. You won't take hardly any damage. A fall that only take more than half your health, like, maybe moves your health half an inch. Like, it's absurd. It's really cool. It's gonna buff on up. Don't need to. The guy's really easy, but, you know, we have it. Why not use it, right? So this is a bigger version of the Misbegotten. He has very slow attacks, but they come out fast. So it's telegraphed very slowly. A long delay, but when it does come out, it comes out fast. If he rolls towards you, and he will right at the start, he's gonna do a headbutt after. So roll, headbutt. We're dodging that, right? Like I said, see how fast it came out? Like, it takes them forever, and then it comes out really fast. Look at that blood flame, man. It's absolutely absurd. And there you go. That's going to get you Rusted Anchor. I think it's one of the top 5 AR-wise best great hammers in the game. I want to say it might even be, as far as damage, like, I think they said it was like the 4th strongest strength weapon in the game, or great hammer, or something like that. But regardless, damage-wise, it really is up there. Now, after that, we're going to jump on over to the Church of the Pilgrimage, take out a catacomb, and then take out a boss. We're at 12,000. I'm not going to fuck off. So we've already gotten everything behind here. We're not worried about that. In fact, we're going to go take out the boss first, then we'll drop to the catacomb, because afterwards, we'll be going this way. So I guess it would make more sense to go on top of the hill first. You done? Holy shit, how can you do that so many times in a row, bro? Like, seriously. Yeah, torch bucks are really annoying. As you see, they're not even worth your time. Just, you know, one-shot type enemies, but they are annoying. They will knock you off your horse. Alrighty. Alright, 20 minutes in, looking good. So we should be able to get all this done. For whatever reason, if we aren't able to fit it all in, we'll just finish the castle and get right to Stormville next episode. But there's really not much on that other side. We've already done the ruin, we've already done the church, there's one cave to hit, and then another ruin to hit, and I think that's it. So these guys are your Erd-3 avatars. I actually used to struggle with them until I learned. Bad start, I did an animation, give me a break. But I learned, all you do is you wait for him to attack, you dodge, and then get a heavy. Charged heavy every time he attacks. Now, if he starts summoning up, if he does this, he slams this into the ground. This is the one thing I would be worried for. Just hold your shield, walk to the side. He does try to do that right at the same time, so you want to be careful for that. So he attacks, we're doing charge heavy after a dodge, right? Rinse and repeat. Eventually we have to get his dagger on a critical attack and, you know, just put him down. So, obviously he's going to be weak to fire. He's a tree. That's going to get you some more tiers for your class. One of them being the Opaline Bubble tier. Is that the only one we get? Usually get two. Yeah, Crimson Burst Crystal tier. So that actually is a better one than your starting one. Instead of restoring half your health, that steadily restores HP for like 3 minutes. So it's nice. It's you know, heal over time. So it's rather slow, rather low. But it's nice if you're going through like a catacomb or something like that. It'll last for long enough for a cave, catacomb, most tunnels. Come here, little shit. These guys drop that spear. Very unique moveset weapon. I think it's one of 2 spears that actually has that moveset in the whole game. And off the top of my head, I can't even think of the other one. But I know there's one more. Alright, let's take these guys out. So if you were to go behind the tree, I think it's right here. This is really nothing. Yeah, you're going to hear it now. That's a harpy. There's other bats too, so just kind of wait on them. Alright, they're not coming for us. We're not worried about them. So harpies, all harpies have a chance to drop some pretty decent runes. The later they are, the better the runes. So eventually start dropping rune 9s. But yeah, for now they do drop 6s. But yeah, by the time we get to Kaled, they drop 9s. So it's always worth taking them out. Then we got a sliver of meat. Just a food type consumable, which usually buffs your damage or your defenses. That's how that works. So after that, kind of just go straight up the cliff here, guys. Then when you do that, we're kind of looping around where we just went up top. And if you guys remember, there's that, where is it? There's a structure. Oh shit, I dropped off the wrong side. This is later. This is way far away. I'm trying to fast travel out. Let's get back up to the church. I was trying to drop back down the front. I got turned around just so we get into the catacombs. That's my fault. Let's just jump back to the Church of Pilgrimage. Yeah, I got turned around, dropped down the wrong side. It happens, you know, it happens. So let's go and grab a level. Almost got that health done already, man. It's fucking phenomenal. 3 more points, we're Gucci. So yeah, we should have the health done by time we get to Stormveil, and they'll give us Stormveil to work on mana and endurance. We might have to still work on them a bit when we get to Liurnia, but not for long, guys. Not for long at all. It's gonna be really nice. So this is gonna be another skeleton catacomb. So what you want to do is look for the jellyfish. As always, they are going to be your indication that something is around. Now, what about stone sword keys? We need quest items, both from key items. So we got 3. We'll buy a few of these. So when I planned the walkthrough, I was going to pretty much tell you guys, hey, just use them on certain doors if you want. I'll tell you what's in them, because it seems like you just don't have enough, and you don't want to get to a really important door and not have a stone sword key. But I think if we just like buy 2, we'll end up finding enough to actually hit every single door. So for the walkthrough, we're going to try to just get it all. You know, whether we're going to use it or not, we want it all, right? So let's go ahead and use the stone sword key here. Anytime we see a merchant, we'll pick up more. We'll probably be good though. So there should be some skeletons right when we come in. And what this is it's a crafting quill. And it lets you craft Rancor pots. So Rancor pots are pots you throw out and spirits come out of them. And they kind of chase down your enemies and just do damage. Kind of weird. It does go with the intelligence build. It does go with the death, like a death style mage build. So if you're doing that, it'd be you know, throwable pots that actually go with the theme of your build. So for death mage, you'd have to do faith and int. There are very few death sorceries in the game, but there are very few death type weapons in the game, but there are few. So if I was to do a death build, you have to do some sorcery and probably Death's Poker, you know, and the other spells that Deathbirds drop, Rancor pots, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You can put stuff together. So when there's a lot of builds you can do. There's so many. It's not just strength. It's not just quality, strength based, dex based, intelligence dex, intelligence, strength, regular strength. Like there's really creative builds. So there's like intelligence and faith. But there's like 4 different types of builds. You could do a death build. You could just do int faith using faith and intelligence weapons. You could do like the thorn sorcerers with blood loss with golden order. So there's you can get really creative with this stuff. Now you have to really know a lot about the game or just really read stuff as you go. But you really can, you know what I mean? And these are all different builds with the same stats, just used differently. So like I always say, the only thing that holds you back in this game is your own creativity. That's the only thing that will ever hold you back in Elden Ring. Put him down. These guys do have a chance to drop the scimitar and also have a chance to drop bows. Remember, put on Sacred Blade if you don't want to, have to hit him twice. Usually I think that's the one. One of these rooms has a skeleton. You'll see him on the ground. You'll walk past thinking he's not going to come up because he won't move. Then when you get to the other side, then he wants to come and play. I know the last room we go into, you're going to see a skeleton in front of you, so you rush for him. You walk right past the other one, you don't see them. You don't want to pop up until after, you're back in turn. Fuck, he got me anyway. Look at all that health it took off. That's why I say level that shit on up. You get here, you love the skeleton, just chill. Alright. If we time this right, this thing will actually help us out. So what we want to do is go in this room, wait for it, start grabbing items. There's going to be a bunch of skeletons pop up. Now, we're going to get hit once, but we can take it and have enough time to get on out, and he's going to pretty much, handle them. Now, he does have to hit them twice, but usually they're trying to get back up, and then he'll hit them again. Because there's like 4 of them in that room. Alright, so this guy's up top. He's going to be spamming, and I mean, look at that, spamming. As I'm just saying, spamming, and I mean spamming fire pots. It's so back to back. It's fucking super annoying. Like, I don't know. I definitely raged my first time. I'm like, dude, fuck this motherfucker. He just doesn't stop. It's like bam, 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 bam. Like, what do you do with that? You're trying to go up the damn platform. So if you can hit him from range, it might save you some headaches. But I just kind of hold up my shield. When I start getting close enough, I dodge. So as you see, this guy won't spawn right away. He's waiting for you to go after this guy. Then he'll try to come in behind you. Obviously, I know he was there, so it's not a big deal. Sit your ass down, son. Alright, Grave Glovert. And there's our lever. So this boss is the Cemetery Shades. So Cemetery Shades are really weak to most things, but he could do a lot of damage. He has like 2 curved swords with blood loss, which bullshit when he gets his weapon doesn't have blood loss on it, but certainly gives it to him. But either way, if you see a green orb he's firing out, do not get hit with that. That's going to freeze you in place, and he's going to jump on you with 2 curved swords and just whap, 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 get him blood loss. He can hit you like 10,000 times in a second. I'm not kidding. It really feels like that. He's really, really fast with his attacks. That being said, he is very weak to holy. And it's almost everything. He takes a lot of damage. He just gives a lot of damage in return. What we're going to do, put on something with Sacred Blade. If you, temporarily put in a weapon, you probably have it equipped. Plus, most of you probably are using it to get through the catacomb skeletons anyway. Look at that. See what I'm saying? Just take it. Heal. Put him down. So I say, man, have weapons for every occasion. You always stay ready that way. You know what I mean? Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's throw the headless. Now you see it has a little gold outline. That is your first legendary summons. One of 7 or 8 you need for your platinum. So it's a good thing you came in here. And that's why I tell people you got to do everything. When it comes to getting a platinum, it might not be, maybe not every boss gives you a trophy. Maybe not finding every weapon gives you a trophy, but you have to get all legendary items, talismans, trophies, spells, incantations, not armors, but I mean, you know what I mean. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of collecting things you need to do. So with this, when you go to read it, it's square legendary ashen remains. So that's our first. So now we have one legendary talisman, one legendary summon. I don't think we've got any legendary spells yet. Those are. I know we get our first one. I think it is our first one actually. We get down there in Liurnia. Really cool too. You just need a lot of faith. I usually will always put it on a build I'm using. Always, always, always. Alright, so from here, now we're going to work our way down. And we've already done this. We've already cleared that. Got the weapon. Yeah, let's just jump to Fourth Church of America. Only thing we really have left is the tower. The Ever Jail. This is what I tell people, follow along. If you weren't following along, I'm sorry, but we've already done this. So, you know, it's a walkthrough, platinum run. You got to follow it from, you know, episode 1 on, because if we've already done something, we're not going to do it again just because people aren't tuning in and following in order. It's just not fair to other people. So it's not to be a dick. It's just, it's not fair to people that's been here when we have a 100-hour long walkthrough to do. We just don't have the time to cover stuff we've already covered, right? We have too much stuff to do, just way too much shit to do. So anyways, leaving the church, head northeast. Kind of working our way back towards where the ruins were. They were right over there. We're going to use a stone sword key here. This is going to be a fight with a frostbite type enemy. Now these, you won't run into these enemies as like a basic enemy or even elite enemy until mountaintops of the giants. However, they are very formidable. If you see them bend over, like kneel on the ground, they're buffing the weapon. It gives you a huge window to get an attack. They can't hurt you, they're just buffing their weapon. But they can throw out frostbite every which way. Their weapon does frostbite. But as you see, we're doing good damage. Damn. They're like dancers. There it is. So this is your best chance of getting damage. You're just nailing down the buff. This is already over. There it is again. That also, it's not just buffing his weapon with frostbite. That's what it looks like. But if you noticed, when we were first hitting him, we were doing tons of damage. But while he was bending over to buff his weapon, like we were hitting him, and it was doing nothing like it was. That's because it's buffing his defenses as well. That's going to get you another talisman. Does the same thing as our talisman, our main talisman does. Just a lesser version of it. It's the earlier version of it. A eye engraved with an Elden rune. Said to be the seal of King Consort Radagon. Raises vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity, but also increases damage taken. This makes you take 10% more damage. Ours makes us take 15% more damage. However, have you noticed? Because I've never noticed. Because, to be honest with you guys, it's not that it makes you take more damage, it's that it lowers your defenses. So, like lightning. Lightning's really bad. That's why we don't wear this after level 100. If you go down here and look at lightning, negative 11% defenses. Negative. So all those defenses you see at 7, 4, 7, that's usually at like 11. So, you are taking a hit to your defenses against those certain things. So that is making you take more damage, but it doesn't necessarily just make you take a percentage more damage just straight up, you know what I mean? So either way, leaving there, if you just head southeast, you can just drop straight down, and here's going to be our cave. So this is going to be a poison cave. We do have On Flame Cleanse Me, so it'll do us a lot of good. With that being said, poison ticks extremely slow. So, and there's no way not to get poisoned. You'd consistently be cleansing yourself and cleansing yourself. So don't worry about it too much. Just let it eat on you. Because what's going on here is you got to walk around in like a poison pond. So no matter what, you're always going to be poisoned. No sense of cleansing. I would just heal through it. We have 7 heals. Or, 6 because I didn't rest. But we do have 7 heals, all in all. And the enemies are real weak. There's also shooting poison. Try to avoid that one. But yeah, another just really short cave. Alright, so let's finish taking these guys out. is go on the open, getting your items. This is going to be your tunnel to the right as you came in. So watch your health. See how slow it's going down? It's not too bad. There's going to be 2 big rats. And some small ones as well. Now rats, all rats, whether small or big, do have a chance to drop rune arcs. Rune arcs are used to get the effects from equipped great runes that, you know, it has not come into play yet. However, it is good to know if you want to stock up on them. I mean, just naturally going through the game, typically I would have around 45 to 50 at the end of the game. That's plenty. I hardly use great runes. But they do give you effects, like the first one we get boosts every stat by 5 points. But when you die, you lose that effect. But if you don't die for a while, you get 23 stats, or 43, whatever it ends up being. I forget. How many stats do we have in this game? Like 9. 8. So yeah, 40 free levels until you die. Alright, so going on up. Like I said, if it starts, your health starts getting low from the poison, just heal. It's going to be better than wasting up all your mana. Just to get poisoned again in 2 seconds. So we're just going to drop here. Fire works really good with these guys if you don't have upgrades for whatever reason you weren't following along. As we're running around with +5 and +10 weapons, +5 somber, +10 regular. But I will say if you haven't got any upgrades, just know that fire does work pretty good. So let's go into flames now. We're about to enter a boss. Where I am going to buff up with blood flame. All it is one of those big flowers. It's not even a boss. Yeah, I mean, it might have a boss health bar, but trust me, it's not a boss. I mean, this is what you want to call a boss. So when he does this, and he will, just get by the front gate. You always lead with that for the most part. Believe it or not, you actually can get charged, or I mean, you can get critical attacks on these guys. Come on, high frames, high frames. Damn it, don't kill me. Let's try and get that critical attack and get the high frames. It did not work. So Viridian Amber Medallion, so that is going to give you more stamina. So all those talismans, the ones that give you more health, the ones that give you more stamina, the ones that give you more mana. There are even the defensive ones, Spell Drake, Alec Drake, all those. There's +1s and +2 versions of those. So you get the base ones, then +1 will actually be the second one, then +2 will be the third one. And then DLC, you actually get +3s of all those. So it is pretty cool to know. From there, we'll just start back at the 4th Church of America. I don't know if we are going to have enough time to get all this done. It's okay, you know. Wherever we leave off, we'll put it in the beginning of next episode before we start Stormville. Because Stormville is next episode. What is episode 8? Yeah, because then that'll put us in the Urnia. I don't know, we might close out. It's not the... See, because the castle here is not going to take a long time. It's not so much that I care to try to squeeze it all in one episode. It's just, I like to try to do hour-long episodes. So if we almost get done, but we don't get done, right? And then we just do the castle, we're going to have like a 20-minute episode of the castle by itself. That's my worry. But maybe we should just wrap up early this time, like right now, and, you know, do the castle with the remainder of the stuff to fill up the episode. But that's not going to work because we're almost done, so that's what I'm saying. So I want to try to separate it. I want to put Stormville in its own 2 episodes. It needs 2 full episodes. So next episode might just have to be short, just so we get to section everything off. Any Hoosiers, as you come down, go to the right. You gotta go in here and see some stairs. You can kill this guy if you want. He's worth 50 runes. Not worth the trouble. He's gonna make it rain magic stuff. If you see these guys that have 4 arms, like that guy, shooting arrows and all that shit, if you do not kill them in 1 hit, roll away as fast as you can. They will, like, malfunction is what it looks like. And they're gonna spaz out and hit you 1,000 times. Here, I'll show you. Isn't that wild?
My death would only be temporary.
Oh, we accidentally hit her.
Nothing.
I didn't mean to do that. We do not want to do that. I'm gonna have to go try to get my sins absolved. Oh, yeah, because that's selling to real bodies, prisoner. And that, I mean, that's story details I don't want to, you know, delve into. Ambush shard, we spoke of this earlier. It summons a shard behind, a projectile shard behind the enemy's back. So you do that at the beginning of a fight. So you have projectiles shooting from behind, then you start hitting them from the front. And good lord, look at that health bar. It is just beautiful. And later on, you're gonna have the same amount of health, but it's not gonna, that health bar's not gonna look as big. When you start taking more damage, for some reason, it just starts looking smaller. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. So let's go here and replace one of these stone sword keys. Make sure we always have enough at all times. Alrighty. Now the only thing left to do is, first and foremost, I'm gonna make sure I don't fuck up Selen's quest. You can have your sins absolved at the Church of Vows. Fuck. She's not here. We haven't even gotten any celestial dew yet either. That's why I hate that they do that, you know? Usually it takes a few hits, but the enemy hit her like 10 times and it fucked me. I didn't hit her. Usually it says, you don't need absolution, so I definitely do. I don't remember the first time we get celestial dew. I think it's the underground area though. It's a long time away. So that's to fix godly armor. We won't run into any for about 20 hours, so it's not really a big deal. 15 hours, so. We're going to have to wait till we get our first celestial dew. I'm pretty sure we might find some over Riley Car. If not, there's plenty in the underground. Like, there's a lot. You find a lot of it. I tell people, I wouldn't make a habit of going around hitting NPCs. We want to do all these quests. Good news is Selen's quest line doesn't start till Mount Gelmir. So, we have a, you know, extremely long time before that happens. That's really nice. So the only thing left to do is to go grab 5 mushrooms, go grab some more runes off this graveyard, and hit the tower. We have just under 20 minutes. So we'll probably have fit it all in. I'm hoping so. We are actually ahead of schedule on our episodes. Usually I start Stormville around, well, my notes, it's set up to start Stormville Castle around episode 10 or 11. We're on episode 8 and we're going to the next episode. So I don't know how we're so far ahead. I mean, do we miss anything? Now, your map looks like that. You didn't miss shit. All that shit. All that shit. I mean, we haven't missed anything. I don't know why we're so far ahead. Just making good time, just good notes, just making good time. I mean, regardless, we are going to be about 6 hours into the game, not including our early runaround, before you even got your first legacy dungeon, so that's probably about right. Yeah, I didn't have us getting there until after 9 hours, though. That's 9 episodes, so, well, I guess that's about right. Yeah, we're going to be about an hour, 1 episode early. So that's good though. I mean, just making good time. But anyway, so get us to the tower up here. You can't miss it. These guys are really annoying me. I've never been knocked off my horse this much. I shit you not. Like, now it's like every little basic enemy. And this never happens. Ever. Like, maybe eventually by tougher enemies, but not by like torch carrying hobos and foot soldiers. I was curious. See if we can break his stagger with our shield. Come on, buddy. Oh, because Ballista Bros is fucking us up. I knew that shit was coming. You got a pretty cool helm. You got actually like a true knight helm. Drop. So we got 2 more foot soldiers. Can't do that shit, asshole. Alright, so this is going to be another transporter trap. Now, I wouldn't call it so much a transporter trap. It's just a transporter that gets you to something really good. So this is going to lead us to a talisman that steadily regenerates your health over time, like that tier, right? But it's always going as long as it's not going to run out in 2-3 minutes. It's always on. It's always going. Doesn't stop. Unfortunately, it's like 2 HP a second. Which is like, damn, a second, 2, and it doesn't sound like much, but yeah, but you gotta remember, like, we probably have like over 1,000 health right now. So imagine that, 2 HP a second. And we're at like level 38, but how much health is that exactly? Like, let's go here. And when we look under HP, we're at 1,574, so 2 HP a second. It's not gonna be much. You know what I'm saying? And we're at 43, so really we're at 38 exactly. Okay. So, transporter traps. The way they work is you cannot actually leave until you rest. Once you rest, you're able to leave. And if you guys want to look, this is the capital. So if you've never played this game before, this is the main capital of the game. It's the capital of the world that we're in. It's fucking incredible. Your first time here, it's unlike anything else you'll ever experience in the game. At least that I ever have. Like, this is a really cool legacy dungeon. And an even cooler underground, which is a little bit of a pain. So if you come here, we got one of these guys, so while it's probably best if you don't have the upgrades early on, you just run for the chest. This guy's gonna hit you and kill you in one hit as you run out. And he does have a lot of health, but with +5 weapons, might take a little bit extra. Give him a jump attack. Yep. This should finish him off. But yeah, he has a lot more health than what we're used to with these guys. But we don't plan him hitting us on the way out. Now, he probably won't one-shot us. He can damn near two-shot us, that's for sure. Gonna put him down. Go on and grab our Blessed Dew Talisman. In the DLC, they have one for mana that does the same thing. It's steady mana regeneration. But the thing with mana is, like me, I only go to +25. 25 levels of mana. Not 40, so that actually is worth it. So you're going to see, that's the capital. That's how much shit we have left to do. We're almost done here, so we got to finish up all this, then do all of the area besides up here. This is a late game area, secret area, very secret hidden area. In fact, that's where Darkmoon Greatsword is. So if you don't do Ronnie's quest line, you cannot get the key for after the Lake of Rot to open up the altar. But that's Moonlight Altar, so it's got legendary ornament and a legendary spell you need for platinum. So if you don't get here, you can't get your platinum. But we can do everything but that, right? But then after that, we do bottom of Caelid, the bottom half. It's actually marked out perfect. I never noticed this before, but the developers did this. If you see this little line, that's exactly like what we're doing. Everything under that, and everything above that's upper Caelid. So they kind of give you a hint. But yeah, so it's gonna be Limgrave, Liurnia, Lower Caelid. Then you have an underground region here. You have another underground region here. Then there's multiple other ones that open up. You have, Mogwin Palace will be underground here. Then you have a bunch of shit here. Then you have a bunch of shit here, bunch of shit here, bunch of shit here, and a little something here. All underground. Then you go to Mount Gelmir. Then you go to Altus Plateau. You gotta do the outer wall. Then everything in the castle front, meaning like there's whole courtyards and villages, and you clear all that. Then you get into the capital, and that's like at the end of the capital, Divine Bridge. So, like, that's how far that shit is away. So, way early in the game, you go to Weeping Peninsula, they give you a transport trap going all the way up there. That's absolutely absurd. But now that we have that. We already got this checkpoint earlier. We only got like 10 minutes, so I don't think we're going to really fit much of this in. I am going to try to get up to our first side of grace. This place don't really take long, though. I could probably damn near do it in the 11 minutes we have without rushing it. But we are going to be a little bit short. So let's make the best of it. So as we go on up, the first thing we want to do is go over to the left, go up top, and take care of 2 dogs. There's one. Now the other one's coming immediately. There he is. Just make sure you hold your shield up. Now we're going to go down here. Summons work really nicely here. In fact, if you have like a group of guys, like we'll switch this for Doctrine Soldier Ashes, right? Gonna summon him, buff up. It's going to be nice to have the help. If you notice, there's kind of a lot of guys here. You know what I mean? Let's clear all this shit out. There's only one that's a threat. I'm gonna try to rush him down. Look at this shit. Good grief, bro. Did y'all see that fuck ass shit? That was wild. Let's try and get the big one, because he can do some actual respectable damage. But we're probably just cleaning up. I mean, these guys, you know, they're not... Oh, too early now. Fuckers. Alright, so now we got all them. I'm sure they killed my summons. That was a mess. Damn, homeboy survived. Oh yeah. Good dude. Alright, so technically behind here is like the side path, but taking the side path leads up to where the main stuff is, and you won't miss anything. This is technically the main path, but going this way you miss stuff, so it's kind of crazy. Alright, go over here, grab your stones. And go over this way. We're just going to kill the one guy here so it's actually cleared out. Alright, so now we're going to take the side path. So taking this path actually gets you a pretty cool torch. So that's fire damage, obviously. It's a torch, so physical fire. And it has Ash of War where you kind of like blow fire. You like blow the torch side to side and like get fire off everywhere. Pretty cool. Go over here, get another great sword. One of the other best quality weapons in the game. Claymore. And what's nice about this is the heavy attack actually does pokes. So, pretty nice. Just gonna clear them up. Now, this is where Arena's father is, right? When we came to Weeping Peninsula, I told you guys let's go ahead and get that quest started in case we want to fast travel in. So we got the letter from her, we got that quest started, so we are good. But yes, this is where we're going to run into her father at. Now, if we could just get to the first side of grace here, that'd actually be good. That just means at the start of the next episode, we pretty much just go down and kill the boss, you know, get started on Stormfell. So. It's probably because when we did our boss rush last episode, we just took him out a lot sooner than I thought, and that's probably why we're kind of ahead. It's kind of, you know, because we got started on Weeping Peninsula, so if we did get started, we would have put the second half of it from the church and all this in one episode, but, you know, we got done early, and that kind of threw it off. I should have just waited to start Weeping Peninsula and closed it out. But it's okay. Still gonna work out just fine. I mean, 7 minutes, and we're already through half of it, so we're probably gonna get it and just be close. Alright, so from here, you want to roll on down, and you would have missed that torch and the claymore if you didn't take that other path. That's what I said. For sure, it's what you want to do. We're gonna move on forward. Take these gentlemen out. No, you don't. Try to rush them if you have to. Don't let them start flying and shit if you don't have to. Alright, so after you got him, we're about to go down to the left, but there's some items. Now, there's your side of grace right here. But if you drop there now, you will not be able to talk to Arena's father unless you do a whole runaround. So we're going to ignore it. So, I mean, you kind of notice all these guys are kind of fighting each other. It does make it easy. You just kind of go through and, you know, take out whoever's left. And we're actually going to kill her dad, and there's a reason for that. And people are like, what the fuck, that you said we're doing quests? We are. Her dad drops a quest item. It's actually really important. So if you don't kill him now, eventually he's going to invade you over here, but a lot of people could miss it. It's really easy to miss. It's a Revenger's Shack. It's actually kind of hidden in some woods. So instead, we're going to kill him here. We're going to quit out, load back in, refresh the state of the world. Then he's going to drop his weapon, and we'll get his quest item. So that way, later on, when he goes to invade, if you guys do happen to miss that spot for whatever reason, you have the bigger quest item, the way more important quest item, because this leads into another quest. The item we get from him, leads into another quest that's much, much more important. This is just a sacrificial twig, and guess what? This quest is already over.
I see.
You deliver this letter, that's the end of the quest. There's nothing else of it. Um, Typically, you'll go back to Rena's body, and her dad would just be there, like, crying over her, and then it ends there. But for us, like I said, the quest is already over, so we're not missing anything there. This weapon's pre-upgraded, so we get that. Vanished Knight's Halberd at +8. We're gonna go quit out. Load on back in, because we never got that side of grace. So we gotta at least do that, and we probably are gonna wrap up there. It's gonna be close, but I don't want to push it and rush things. And there are talismans and other items as well. So now that we refresh, there you go, Sabriri Grape. And that's for the Grape Lady's quest. The infamous Grape Lady, I'm sure people have heard about, obviously. It leads to a talisman that scales with every stat aside from Arcane. And we're going to do this build for the main game. And, it's going to be a suggested build for the main game, as I find it really helpful for people. But when it gets to the DLC, I'm just going to switch to something else. Probably Dex Faith for over there. There's a lot of really cool Dex Faith weapons. But, this is to guide you through the game. If you got to the DLC, that means you got through the main game. And even this, you have complete freedom of builds already. But, over there, everyone just does what they want at that point, right? If you aren't already, you could already do what you want, just to make that clear. But we're just going to run straight back to where these little bricks are. We're going to rest. So, I'm going to show you how close we were. And that's what really sucks, too. We were so close. Where's it at? So, you see that tower down there? Actually, right there. It's that little doorway. On the beach is the boss fight. And it's really cool, too. Like, the way they designed this game is fucking phenomenal. Even if you spend 1,000 hours, you don't appreciate it as much, but when you just try to pretend like you never seen it before and take it all in, you're just like, God, they're so ahead of their time. Their level design is phenomenal. But all we're doing is dropping down, working our way down through there, and it's just a series of drops. It actually takes 2 minutes. It barely takes any time at all. Then we just go to the boss. So we almost did it, but I don't want to rush things. I want to do it right. So we are going to wrap up here. Next episode, we'll just finish this off real quick. Let's get our first legendary ornament, which we do need for platinum. And then, jump up here and get started on Stormveil. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll see y'all next time to pick up where we left off and get into Stormveil Castle, starting to work our way towards our first boss remembrance, our first Great Rune, and the Urniak.